Hello students, welcome to my first video lesson on the first poem from your English reader Flamingo, My Mother at 66 by Kamla Das. My Mother at 66 by Kamla Das. Kamla Das is a poet. Kamla Das was born on 31st March 1934 in Punnayur-Kulam, Malaba district, Madras. At present, Chennai. She died on 31st May 2009 at the age of 75 at Pune, Maharashtra. Her pen name was Madhavi Kutti. What is pen name? Kamla Das, she did not use her real name as a poet. She wrote under the name Madhavi Kutti. That's her pen name. Her occupation, she was a poet, novelist, and a short story memoirs. Kamla Das has received many awards for her literacy contribution, including the few of which are given below. Number 1, she was nominated and shortlisted for Nobel Prize for Literature in 1984. She won the award of Asian Pen, Anthology 1964, a collection of poems. She won Kerala Sahitya Academy Award 1969. She won Sahitya Academy Award 1985. She was given honorary D.Litt by University of Calicut in 2006. And on 31st May 2009, she died at the age of 75 at a hospital in Pune, Maharashtra. Her husband's name was K. Madhava Das. She had 3 children, Das and Madhava Alappal, Chinnan Das, Jayashurya Das. Her parents were Balamani Amma, her mother, V. M. Nair, her father. Kamala Suraya. She was an Indian English poet and at the same time a leading Malayalam author from Kerala, India. Her popularity in Kerala is based chiefly on her short stories and autobiography, while her oeuvre in English, written under the name Kamla Das, is noted for the poems and explicit biographies. She is now seen as one of the most formative influences on Indian English poetry. In 2009, The Times called her the mother of modern English Indian poetry. My Mother at 66. Now this poem, My Mother at 66, it examines the theme of advancing age and the fear of loss and separation. The theme of this poem is advancing age. As we grow older, with it comes the fear of loss, the fear of losing that person who is getting older, and finally, separation. In this poem, Kamla Das is suffering from the fear of losing her mother. How is she going to lose her mother when she dies? And finally, when she will be separated from her mother. That's her fear. So the theme of advancing age and the fear of loss and separation. The whole poem is a single line. The whole poem is a single line punctuated by commas. The The whole poem is written in a single line. Now, some of the words that we will come across in the poem. Those, when you sleep lightly, that is called those. Ashen, ash, it comes from the word ash, ashen. Very pale with shock, fear, or illness. Corpse, a dead body. Spilling out, rushing out. Worn, pale and giving the impression of illness or exhaustion. Finally, ache, pain. Let's go through these difficult words once more. Those, sleep lightly. Ashen, very pale with shock, fear, or illness. Corpse, a dead body. Spilling out, rushing out. Worn, pale and giving the impression of illness or exhaustion. That is called worn. Finally, ache, pain. Now let's proceed. Stranger 1. Driving from my parents' home to Cochin last Friday morning, I saw my mother beside me. Those open-mouthed, her face ashen like that of a corpse. Driving from my parents' home to Cochin last Friday morning, I saw my mother beside me. Those open-mouthed, her face ashen like that of a corpse. So it was last Friday. Kamla Das was going to the Cochin airport. Her mother came with her to see her off. While they were on the way to airport, Kamla Das saw her mother sitting next to her doze. She was dozing at that time. She was sleeping slightly, open-mouthed, and her face, the color of her face was ash-colored, that looked like the face of a dead body. Now, let's understand the meaning of this stanza in detail. The poet had gone to visit her parents' home, and she was returning from her parents' home and going towards the Cochin airport. Her mother came with her to see her off at the airport. So the poet had gone to visit her parents' home. On Friday morning, she was returning. On her way to the airport, she noticed her mother sleeping beside her in the car. Her mouth was open. Her face was pale and lifeless, just like a dead body. It perhaps expressed the pain she felt because of separation from her mother. Maybe the mother was undergoing that pain of being separated from her mother. I hope you must have understood the first stanza. Let's read the first stanza once more. Driving from my parents' home to Cochin last Friday morning, I saw my mother beside me, those open-mouthed, her face ashen like that of a corpse. I hope you must have understood this stanza very clearly. Now let's go to stanza 2. And realize with pain that she was as old as she looked, but soon put that thought away and looked out at young trees sprinting, the merry children spilling out of their homes. Once more. And realized with pain that she was as old as she looked, but soon put that thought away and looked out at young trees sprinting, the merry children spilling out of their homes. So they are still on their way to the Cochin airport. Now when Kamla Das looked at her mother, she felt a lot of pain inside because mother looked so old. very old. Usually people don't look so old at the age of 66, but in this in the case of Kamla Das' mother, she looked very old at the age of just 66. So now she saw her mother look so old, and because of that, she was undergoing a deep pain inside. But she did not want to show her feelings of pain to her mother. That's why she put that thought away. What is that thought? That painful thought that mother has become so old, she may die very soon. I'll be separated from my mother. This was the pain, the fear that was inside Kamla Das, but she didn't want to show all these feelings. That's why, to put that thought away, to put this painful thought away, she looked out of the window of the car, and what did she see? What did she see outside the window of the car? Young trees sprinting, the merry children spilling out of their homes. To make you understand this clearly, let's go to the next slide. Yes, can you see trees sprinting? Yes, so when we are moving in a very fast going vehicle, we feel that the trees grown at the side of the road, they look like running very fast in the opposite direction. But do the trees really run so fast? Who is moving so fast? The vehicle, not the trees. But the trees seem to move very fast in the opposite direction. That is called sprinting. So you must have understood trees sprinting. Then merry children spilling out of their homes. Merry, happy children spilling out of their homes. They all came out of their homes happily. To make you understand the meaning of spilling out, yes, what is this? Water spilling out of the bucket. So merry children spilling out of homes. So when she looked at her mother, who looked so old at that age, she had the fear that her mother may die very soon, and then she'll be separated from her mother forever. But she didn't want to show those painful feelings to her mother. That's why, just to hide her painful feelings, she looked out of the window of the car. To put that thought away, what did she see? Young trees sprinting and the merry children spilling out of their homes. These two images. You must have found that these two images are in deep contrast to the atmosphere inside the car. Inside the car, there are the feelings of pain, death, old age, sadness. But what about outside? Young trees, these two images, young trees sprinting, merry children spilling out of their homes, they symbolize youth, happiness, action, life. So the poet has deliberately used these two contrasting images so that she could highlight the painful atmosphere inside the car. Yes. So what is the meaning of this stanza too? The poet was alarmed by the sudden realization that old age had crept upon her mother. It was a reality she found so hard to accept. What is that reality? That mother has grown very old. The poet was pained to see her mother like this. To take her attention away from the disturbing thought, she looked outside the car. Because the car was moving, the young trees appeared to be running in the opposite direction. That is called tree sprinting. Then she saw a group of children rushing out of their homes to play. So let's read this Stanza 2 once more, and realize with pain that she was as old as she looked, but soon put that thought away and looked out at young trees sprinting, the merry children spilling out of their homes. I hope you must have understood Stanza 2 also. Now let's move on to Stanza 3. Yes, but after the airport's security check, standing a few yards away, I looked again at her, worn, pale as a late winter's moon. Once more. But after the airport's security check, standing a few yards away, I looked again at her, worn, pale as a late winter's moon. So finally, they reached the airport. We all know that after the security check, the passenger is not allowed to come back and meet those persons who had accompanied the passenger to see him or her off the airport. So the security check is over. Now she is standing a few yards away from her mother. She looked back at her mother. Her mother appeared worn, pale, dull, without any brightness on her face. And that is compared to late winter's moon. So here is a beautiful comparison of this one, the appearance of Kamlada's mother, who looks so dull, no brightness on her face. In the same way, during the last days of winter, the moon loses its brightness and it appears very dull. So this is a beautiful comparison. Here, simile is used. Children, simile, it is a figure of speech where two things are compared in terms of a certain quality. Now, the appearance of mother is compared to the appearance of moon during the last stage of winter. So after the security check, Kamla Das is standing a few yards away. She looked again at her mother, who appeared so dull, pale, no shine or no brightness on her face, in the same like late winter's moon, like the last days of during the last days of winter, the moon appears, very dull, no brightness, without any brightness. So the young children and trees were able to divert her thoughts away. She was able to divert her thought. What was that thought? That painful thought of losing her mother, by looking outside the window of the car. And she saw young children happily running out of their homes and the young trees sprinting. But after reaching the airport and passing through the security check, the poet again looks back at her mother, who was standing a few yards away. Her mother looked lifeless and dull, like a late winter's moon, which cannot be seen clearly because of mist and fog. I hope you must have understood this beautiful comparison. Here, this simile is used. Comparison is made between the appearance of Kamla Das' mother and the appearance of moon during the last days of winter. Fine. Yes, let's read this one. Stanza 3 once more. But after the airport security check, standing a few yards away, I looked again at her, worn pale as a late winter's moon. I hope you must have understood this stanza 3 very clearly. Now come to the final stanza 4, and felt that old familiar ache, my childhood's fear. But all I said was, "See you soon, Amma." All I did was smile and smile. And felt that old familiar ache, my childhood's fear. But all I said was, "See you soon, Amma." All I did was smile and smile. At this moment, when she was saying bye-bye to her mother, she felt that old familiar ache, pain. She is suffering from a familiar pain from the days of her childhood. Familiar, why? Because she experiences that pain again and again from her childhood days. What is that pain? Her fear of losing her mother one day when she becomes old, and death would separate her mother from her. That's her childhood fear. So that's why that fear is her familiar ache. She has undergone that fear from the days of her childhood, and felt that old familiar ache, my childhood fear. So that childhood fear came to her at this moment. But all I said was, "See you soon, Amma." But she said to her mother, "See you soon. We will meet very soon, Amma." And all I did was smile and smile. Yes, externally, she appeared to be positive that she would be able to meet her mother very soon. That's why she said, "See you soon, Amma." She's trying to be positive that she'll be able to meet her mother very soon. But inside her, she is having that childhood fear. And she's trying her level best not to let her mother see that painful fear inside her. So she kept on saying, "See you soon, Amma." And all I did was smile and smile and smile. She only smiled, but she was using that smile to cover her fear, to cover her painful feelings. So we can see that Kamala Das is trying to cover or to hide her painful feelings, cover her fear of losing her mother. Inside, she is not at all hopeful that she would be able to meet her mother next time. But she kept on saying, "See you soon, Amma." She did not want to hurt her mother, so she tried to look positive. "Amma, we will meet very soon." And she smiled and smiled and smiled. Here the poet has used this smile many times. This is important because through this smile, she has tried to hide her pain and her fear. Yes, the meaning of stanza 4. Once again she was pained to see her mother in this condition. As she was going away and leaving her mother, her old familiar ache, her childhood fear that she would lose her mother suddenly came alive. But she tried to hide her emotions behind her smile. She did not want to reveal her feelings to her mother and bid farewell with a smile. She gave hope to her mother and herself by saying that they would meet again and kept on smiling. So, this stanza 4 Once more, and felt that old familiar ache, my childhood's fear, but all I said was, "See you soon, Amma." All I did was smile and smile. Yes, there are two examples of simile in the poem. First one, her face ashen like that of a corpse. Now the face of the mother is compared to the face of a dead body. The color of mother's face is ash, like that of a corpse. Second use of simile in the poem, worn pale as a late winter's moon. Her mother's pale appearance is compared to that of a late winter's moon. Students, I hope you have understood these two examples of simile. Now, let's read the poem for the last time. From the beginning. Because we have analyzed the poem, the four stanzas of the poem separately, so it's important to read the poem, the complete poem at the end, so that we could accumulate the scattered information of the poem. Driving from my parents' home to Cochin last Friday morning, I saw my mother beside me, those open-mouthed, her face ashen like that of a corpse, and realized with pain that she was as old as she looked, but soon put that thought away and looked out at young trees sprinting, the merry children spilling out of their homes. But after the airport security check, standing a few yards away, I looked again at her, worn pale as a late winter's moon. And felt that old familiar ache, my childhood's fear. But all I said was, "See you soon, Amma." All I did was smile and smile. Students, I hope you must have understood the poem very clearly. In the next video, we will discuss the important questions from this poem. Till then, stay safe, stay healthy, and please don't forget to read the text many times. Thank you.